welcome. I am so excited to hop on here live. And hold on, I got it going in my ear on that side. Okay, so I am super excited. I have a special treat for you today. I have Angela Bell. She is a neuro life coach, and she specializes in helping entrepreneurs. And she is going to talk a little bit about MLM shame and how we can get over it. So I'm going to turn the time over to Angela.
Hey, so MLM shame is something that I found as I've worked with a lot of people in MLMs that stops them in their tracks before their business even gets off the ground. So if some of you are just getting started or you've kind of had a slower start than you wanted, this is going to be a really great thing for you to consider. And then I'm also going to give you a tool to help you overcome it. So what the heck is MLM shame? Well, MLM shame is basically if you play back before you were in an MLM, did you ever have a situation where you had a friend in an MLM or a family member and they bugged you and you didn't like it? And you thought not so nice thoughts about them or about what they said to you or about their MLM or whatever it was, and you're just like, oh, well, that gets logged into your brain and it's in the subconscious and it's emotional, and guess what? The next time any kind of MLM type thing comes up, whether it's you're in it or a different friend is in it or you see a billboard for an MLM, your brain is going to associate that experience with it. And the greater the emotion, the more likely it is to associate with it going forward. So what that looks like for you is you're like, oh, I'm in my MLM, I'm so excited, I love this product, I love how it changes people's lives, both with what my product does, but also the MLM itself and how it promotes personal growth and financial freedom. And then your brain remembers, yeah, except for you hated your friend, you hated that they were coming at you with their MLM, right? Or you hated that experience and you disliked it. And now they're going to feel that way about you. So how safe does that feel? To feel that your inner circle, your family, your friends, or the people that you're going to be talking to are going to dislike you. It doesn't feel very good, does it? And your brain's number one job is to keep you safe. And so until you resolve this, it's like going into your business with the gas full on, which you all have a lot of awesome energy moving forward, but then you have the brakes slammed on because it doesn't feel safe to be rejected by your friends and family and the people that you meet. So if we can resolve this and then also make sure that you're in alignment with your MLM and your brand, you're moving forward with a purpose, and that's going to feel a lot different to your family and friends. And you're not going to stop yourself, put that brake on because you're afraid of like being rejected by all that you hold dear. That's not a very good way to move forward in your business. So I use dozens and dozens of tools to help create a new mindset landscape for people that I work with. And there's one that's actually been proven. It's been double-blind studied. It's many statements have been released by the APA on EFT tapping. In fact, the thing that's been most studied is PTSD. So PTSD, how it would apply to this would be you have an experience that has a lot of stress and puts your body into shock, and you carry that forward. And you think of it often, and then it creates that stress and shock in your body. So we can do that with events, and obviously PTSD is like a huge form of that. But tapping has been proven to cure PTSD in 6 sessions. So I'm going to give you a little mini session for MLM shame today so that you can learn the skill and then practice it over and over until you're able to clear or rewire how you look at that MLM and release some of that shame so that you don't carry that moving forward and stop yourself from doing your business. Gas brake, right? So it's pretty easy, Brooke. We make a sandwich. That's how we do this. It's that easy. We just make a sandwich.
I love it. Let's do it.
Okay. So when you make a sandwich, unless you're on a low-carb diet or keto, right, you're going to have 2 pieces of bread. So the 2 pieces of bread represent the 2 ends of a sentence, a very important sentence that we set this up with. So the first piece of bread is even though, and the second piece of bread that we finish the sentence with is I love and accept me anyway. So even though, and then we're going to find a filling You know, when you put a filling on your sandwich, like peanut butter and jelly or turkey, and that filling is the feeling. So even though I'm scared to do my MLM that someone won't like me, I love and accept me anyway. Even though I'm ashamed that I'm in an MLM, that's the filling. You're just going to put it on the bread. And then you finish the sandwich with, I love and accept me anyway. And then you have an EFT sandwich ready to go.
I love it. That is awesome.
Cool. So now you've got your sandwich ready to go with your, even though you're feeling and the end, I love and accept me anyway, you're going to start tapping right here. So this works with the meridians of the body. So it's Western as far as the psychology and the thought aspect, and then it's Eastern as far as working with meridians and moving that energy and how it affects what you think and how you feel. So you can just repeat after me, even though, hey, you want to do it with me, Brookie?
All right, I'll do it.
Okay. I just called you Brookie on live Facebook, didn't I?
That's all right.
All right. Even though I'm ashamed I'm in an MLM.
Even though I'm ashamed I am in an MLM. That's hard to say.
It is. I love and accept me anyway.
I love and accept me anyway.
Awesome. Even though I remember all those people that were in MLMs.
Even though I remember all those people who are in MLMs.
And I hated it.
And I hated it.
So it makes me feel ashamed now.
So it makes me feel ashamed now.
I love and accept me anyway.
I love and accept me anyway.
Even though I feel ashamed and embarrassed that I'm in an MLM.
Even though I feel ashamed and embarrassed that I'm in an MLM.
Because I remember all those times how I reacted to people.
Because I remember all those times how I reacted to people.
I love and accept me anyway.
I love and accept me anyway.
Okay, good job. Now we're going to move through a series of points called meridian points, and we're going to focus our brain on this feeling. So that's the filling in your sandwich, that shame, right? And that's going to move the energy, okay? So just follow me. And repeat after me again. So this MLM shame.
This MLM shame.
Okay, now this one is right between your eyebrow and the bridge of your nose. This MLM shame.
This MLM shame.
Outer eye. Man, I got mad at them.
Man, I got mad at them.
And every time I thought of them, I was mad at them.
And every time I thought of them, I was mad at them.
What if they feel that way about me?
What if they feel that way about me?
I'm so ashamed.
I'm so ashamed.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm embarrassed.
I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm ashamed of the MLM.
I'm ashamed of the MLM.
I'm ashamed. No, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid.
I'm ashamed and afraid I'm in an MLM.
I'm ashamed and afraid I'm in an MLM.
Not all of me.
Not all of me.
The conscious part of me is dang excited.
The conscious part of me is dang excited.
But my subconscious remembers.
But my subconscious remembers.
How I used to feel.
How I used to feel.
It's scary because I remember how I used to feel.
It's scary because I remember how I used to feel.
I'm afraid because I remember how I used to feel.
I'm afraid because I remember how I used to feel.
I feel scared to be in an MLM.
I feel scared to be in an MLM.
And a little bit ashamed.
And a little bit ashamed.
I feel scared to be in an MLM.
I feel scared to be in an MLM.
And a little bit ashamed.
And a little bit ashamed.
Okay, good job. You did it. You just did what we call a round of tapping. So it starts with saying this sentence 3 times that we constructed out of our sandwich. And then you just focus on that feeling all the way down. And it'll bring the volume down on that feeling. So I did forget to have you test the feeling and give it a number before we started. So it might be a good idea before, when you're writing the sandwich, when you're figuring that out, when you're making the sandwich, to write down, how ashamed do I feel about an MLM right now? Maybe it's only 5, maybe it's a 6, or maybe it's a 10, and maybe it's a 0, and you need to tap on something else. But this is a common one that's kind of sneaky and behind the scenes for a lot of MLMers, okay? And then at the end, we just did a round. At the end, when you end up back here, that's your signal to check your number.
Okay.
You take a deep breath, and I'd say, okay, say out loud, I am ashamed to be in an MLM.
I am ashamed of being in an MLM.
And then 0 to 10, what's the volume on that feeling?
So for me, it's a 0 or a 1.
There you go. So for you, it's pretty low because you've been working on that for a long time.
Right.
And for someone else, they might be in an 8. And if you're in an 8, oh, wow, it's just your body trying to take care of you. It's nothing about your value or what you should or shouldn't be doing. It's simply just your subconscious, without your permission, actually, sending up a message that says, don't do that, put on the brake. You know, we're going to get rejected. And so you just turn down the volume, and that helps you to get to a point where you're collecting data both from your conscious mind and your subconscious mind, and you can make a decision and move forward. Instead of you make a conscious decision and your subconscious shows up at least as powerful, if not more, and puts on the brake. And so then that's pretty uncomfortable in your life. You're like, I move forward a little bit. It's like a jerky car, right?
Yeah.
And then you get stopped. Remember, the subconscious gets 50 to 70,000 thoughts a day.
Wow, that's a lot.
Yeah. So if a lot of those thoughts are getting triggered by your MLM and they're negative, that's going to affect your business. And you have to overcome that every day with your conscious mind, which gets very little playtime because its job is to focus. And so it gets hundreds or a few thousand thoughts in a day. Very, very different, right?
Right.
So we want to maintain and take care of the things and turn down the volume that are screaming at us in the subconscious. So what you would do from here is go right back to your sandwich. Say the same thing again, even though I have this MLM shame, and so I'm afraid to be in an MLM. I love and accept me anyway, 3 times by tapping here. And then you move through the points again. Each time you measure so you can see where your progress is.
Awesome. So this is something that everyone can do. They can do it not only just like say in an MLM, but they can say the name of their company or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then let's say maybe it's around booking parties or getting new recruits. They can take any of those feelings that they have, like when they're scared or they're not quite sure what they should do next and they're feeling that anxiety. They can just make a sandwich out of it and then go through the rounds, right?
Oh, absolutely. The APA has released many, many statements about stress. So whether you believe in Eastern, Western, or whatever your exposure is to medicine, modalities, different things, this has been proven to reduce stress around events and stress in general. So absolutely, aim it at anything that's stressing you out. And it's great to get a habit doing it daily, just even for a minute. Like my clients, I'll have certain situations where they just do it in a certain spot at a certain time every single day, and it makes a huge difference just to do a minute, because that's a minute that you're making progress on something and it doesn't come back.
Right.
Obviously, there's a professional approach where we can clean up all the different pieces, so it may feel like it's coming back if you don't know how to approach it from all the different angles, but telling you that it's MLM shame is a good start, because that's a little bit deeper than, oh, I'm having trouble in my business and I don't know why, right? Like we took a few layers into it.
Gotcha. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on and doing this Facebook Live for everybody here. And we're so grateful for everything that you have taught us. And I'm sure we'll have you on again.
I'd love to. Thanks, Brooke. It was fun.